Hey, this is Ryan Thomas, and in this video, we're talking about how to start over in rebuilding the relationship with your alienated child, no matter how long it's been. So many parents who are alienated or being rejected by their child, no matter how old they are, say, Ryan, it's been this long, it's been weeks, it's been months, it's been years, it's been decades. Where do I even start? What can I do? Is it too late for me? And what I want to do is share with you a different perspective that says that not only is the amount of time irrelevant to whether or not you can rebuild a relationship with your child or not, you can actually use the amount of time that it has been to your advantage. You can actually use that as a positive. And here's what I mean by that. When you have alienation, no matter how long it has been, at the core, it is about turning the child against you, a loving parent. It is about twisting and manipulating and creating lies about you so that the child will turn away from you and turn towards the alienator. They want the child to feel like there is no other option, that they are the best, and that you, the alienated parent, is gone, is not a viable option for them. And so when this story takes hold, what we know happens is that the longer it progresses, of course, the longer those toxic stories, those negative beliefs, those habitual thoughts about you and feelings towards you, they take hold, right? So if before alienation really became apparent, perhaps before the divorce proceedings or before something happened, there was an alienator who was silently, slowly, methodically undercutting the relationship between you and your child. It was happening long before you ever knew it, long before you could ever feel that something's just not quite right, and long, long before you knew that it might have a name like parental alienation. And so what happens is it makes the child look at you differently, makes them question you. They have another person of authority who is telling them, you sure? Did you hear that? Wow, I'm surprised. And it is done in such an underhanded way that that story starts to take hold. Then you come in not knowing that there is this story or this lie about you, and you make a mistake. You say or do something, and all of a sudden they go, see, that's what we're talking about. Oh, wow, unbelievable, right? And there's often times where not only is it a lie, it is actually something that is equated with something that is true, right? You could be on your phone a lot, and then they make that mean something. Wow, every time they're on their phone, they're just choosing the phone over you. So now every time you pick up the phone, for you, you're just living your life. For them, it's wow, again, just still putting you last, right? So this story persists. So whether this is a story that is going before you realize it, then perhaps the divorce or the relationship ruptures, something happens, and all of a sudden now there is a divide. There is a divide between you and your child and you and the other parent or the other individual. That's when it's like game on. Everything is up for grabs, right? The stories, the lies, everything intensifies. Everything you do, they're being told about. If there's a court proceeding, they're being told about it. So the story, like a snowball, it just keeps building, 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 building. This is where momentum, negative momentum starts happening against you. And so whether or not that, let's call it, from the time that your child or that there's a real problem here that's going on, whether that is 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years, what it just means is that at a certain point, the child becomes transfixed in time. They're like frozen in time. So they are like that child who believes those things about you over and over and over again. And the more that you are pushed away and rejected and lose access to them, you can't change your mind. You don't have the ability to create a catalyst that makes them say, oh, wow, that's different. Oh, that's unique. Oh, maybe I don't have it right. Maybe there's more to the story. Maybe there's another side to the story. They are deprived of that opportunity. So they are transfixed in time, which means that no matter how long it goes, and you might sometimes, parents will say, well, I don't know what my kid thinks. It's been so long. Guess what they think? Exactly what they did when they were 5 years old, 7 years old, 13 years old, 20 years old, whatever it is, they just are stunted in that belief. There's no new information that is going into their mind, and there's no new information that's going into their heart. So we can then take that and say, I still know what that's about. Now I can work to counteract that programming. Now I can do things differently so that what they thought about me, I can breathe new life into it. I can give them a different thought, a different emotion, a different change of perspective. And the reason that I said that you can actually use time to your advantage, right? So in this instance, all we're saying is, yeah, of course, the emotional toll of not having the relationship, whether it be weeks, months, or years, or even decades for some parents, is that that story has solidified much longer. But we know what it is. We know what to say to counteract that if we understand what's gone on behind the scenes. Now, as I just mentioned, we want to talk about how to leverage that. Well, you can actually leverage that by saying and by showing so much time has passed. You're not a little kid anymore. You're not a teenager anymore. You're not somebody who was who is, the same person that you were all of this time ago. Guess what? I'm not either. There's a new version of me. Let's find out what we can do to get to know these new versions. You can connect that realization that, yeah, well, I'm not in kindergarten anymore. I'm not in 7th grade anymore, whatever it is. Get them out of that stunted growth, get them out of feeling locked in. This is where you can then compel us, create a new compelling story that in this amount of time, no matter how long it is, there has been change, there has been improvement. Now, obviously, there's a lot of details, there's a lot of strategy and a lot of approach into what to say, how to say it, what's going to be the right way to do it, what's the right sequence of events, what are the things that are going to connect with them, that are authentic to them, all of that. But my whole point in sharing this with you is that if you ever feel like it's too late to start over, or no matter how much or the too much time has passed, that is a limiting belief that I want you to break and to think differently about. That as long as we have information that we can digest and understand and look at, we can find a positive, we can find a counter programming, we can use and leverage it to your positive, to make a positive impact over and over and over. It's not like it's going to happen overnight. You're going to say or do one thing and, oh, everything is great. It is, what are all of the things that you can do consistently that are new, that are different, that surprise, that changes their opinions and their beliefs about you over and 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 over again. That's what we want to do. Build that consistency, start changing that story, but believe and know that you can do it. And also believe and know that there are people that have watched other videos or heard about the work that we do at Get Them Back, that have been in the same position and said it's probably too late. And we have been able to show them it's never too late. That is a limiting belief. There is a lot of opportunity for you. There is a possibility for you to rebuild the relationship, to strengthen the relationship. There is always hope. There is always opportunity and possibility. And we want to do everything that we can to help parents who are in that situation, who want to do everything that they can to put the effort in the belief into the fact that they know that they can create change. They can be a catalyst. They can change the dynamic and work to get their child back and to restore the relationship that they absolutely deserve. And also make sure, you know what, I'm not going to fall into a trap. I'm not going to make a mistake. I am not going to make it so that the alienator can take every little thing I do and twist it and turn it against me. There's a lot of opportunity. So wanted to share that video. Hope it's helpful. Again, I'm Ryan Thomas. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on another video.